soft and warm, a quiet storm, quiet as when flowers talk at break of dawn, break of dawn. A power source of tender force, generating, radiating, turn me on, turn me on. You short circuit all my nerves, promising electric things. You touch me and suddenly there's rainbow rings. Quiet storm blowing through my life. Quiet storm blowing through my life. Blow, baby.
Mary and Jeff, if you could just briefly describe for me, you know, what type of work you guys do and how things have been going lately.
Okay, well, we're in the restaurant business, and we're coming up on our 1-year anniversary of the business.
And we got into the restaurant business because friends of ours inspired us. They own a restaurant, and they inspired us to get into that. And we, you know, it's kind of been a lifelong dream of ours too. But with the current downturn and the recession, it's been, you know, business hasn't been quite as good as we thought, and everything's, you know, with the mortgage and the rent on the restaurant, and you know, everything. It's been kind of a pressure cooker that, you know, it's been tough to keep up, and so we're falling far behind where we need to be.
I've had a personnel agency for 17 years now. We specialize in part-time and temporary workers, and it was going really well until a few years ago.
Well, I own an Italian bistro, and I've had it for about 7 years now, and it's been really hard trying to just keep the doors open of my restaurant and working long hours and everything, and he's lost his job, so.
What was it you used to do?
I used to be a social worker for the county, and there's just been a lot of cutbacks with the governor and the state, and so I got a pink slip.
Well, I was with the firm for 11 years. I was a partner, and typically when the economy goes down, lawsuit filings go up. Well, in this last economic downturn, that didn't happen. There were less lawsuits filed, and I defend people who get sued, and these plaintiffs' attorneys were not taking a lot of these cases because typically the plaintiff's attorney fronts all the costs, filing fees and what have you. They're just not doing that because they don't have the money and they don't want to take the risk. So when lawsuit filings go down, business goes down, and unfortunately I had to leave back about 6 months ago.
So what are your plans should you in fact lose the home?
Well, our plans are to move in with my mother, and you know, wasn't the original plan. Original plan was to have her move in with us in our home. So it's going to be a lot of changes if it really comes down to that.
That's a hard question because Jerry's mom only has a 1-bedroom apartment, and my parents are overseas, so I mean, I don't know. I mean, we'll probably give the furniture, you know, put the furniture in some kind of storage and then move in with friends for a while. But you know, a family of 3, it's kind of hard for anybody to take in. So I don't know.
We've talked with his mother, and we're actually gonna have to move in with Nana. So we're just gonna try to stay in the house as long as we can until we have to make that horrible move. So.
And it's hard when you have your own space, and you know the kids are used to a certain level of space. They all have their own rooms. You know, they have friends in the neighborhood. We might have to switch schools. So this is a kind of a big deal. The kids' iPhones and all that stuff might have to go back. So that's going to be a big arrangement for them.
Jordan, as a teenager, I imagine this has to be really hard for you. I mean, you probably had to switch schools, and I just remember being a teenager, having to live in one bedroom with both of my parents. Just, it has to be pretty crazy at some times.
It's definitely a new experience, and you're like an emotional wreck, kind of, because one minute you're mad, like, how could this happen to our family? And then the next minute, it's kind of gives you a new perspective on what to be grateful for.
So, what do you guys have planned for the future? You know, what do you plan for next?
Well, I've been working some small projects. The good thing about being a lawyer for many years is that you know everybody and you establish good working relationships. So, and a lot of other lawyers are in my position as well. So you seek out people that you know and that you've worked with, and they might have some projects for you, some small things to do on a contract or hourly basis. And I've been doing as much of that as possible.
How are things going at school? Is this made things hard with your friends, with your teachers?
My friends, they're sad for me because I won't be able to hang out with them. But I'm trying to keep my grades up, so at least if I go to a new school, maybe they'll know my reputation there and maybe I'll get in a good class, but it'll be still sad leaving all my friends that I've been with forever.
Jaylene, is this scary? I mean, this seems like a big change, moving in with your Nana and changing schools?
Yeah, it's really scary because I really want to move, leave all my friends, and lose some of my prized possessions. And I don't want, because my dad and my mom might be stressed and might start to fight a lot because of all the stress that they're going through from losing their house.
We're trying to stay positive and use this as a more of a learning experience for you know, for Jordan. Is that she mentioned college, and go to college, even if you have to go to a small community college, get an education, because it's tough being a lawyer. I'm unemployed now, so just imagine how it is when you have a high school degree. So even if you have to go part-time, you know, mom and dad will make it work for you. But
You're gonna make sure you get to
absolutely.
college.
But yes, you need to go to college, and then you know, work from there. So yeah.
I think this is where the government can come in to help, is to help people in our kind of situation at least temporarily get by until the economy gets better. Because if you're having whatever the percentage is now, 10% of the people losing their homes, that's just, you know, bad for the entire country.
Well, I mean, just being a taxpayer and being a person who's taking care of his family all this long, it's just really hard for me, you know, because here I have these faces and these people that I'm responsible for, and I've done everything that I'm supposed to do, and yet I see the government bailing out banks and doing these things, and to me it seems adverse because that's the reverse situation. You should be bailing out the people who are paying the taxes, the people who are taking care of their families. I mean, what about us? What are we supposed to do? And as a man, it hurts. So I can almost understand why people want to occupy things, people don't want to pay tax, people don't. I mean, what are you supposed to do? So we do need some programs, and I'm just hoping like our president is able to enact some stuff through Congress, or that some of the, you know, and I would tell people to write their senators and congressmen and their local representatives to be the heart and ears and eyes of the community and let these folks know what's going on, because, you know, even though we have a certain amount of money, it's like we don't qualify for other things. So even though we have money to do X, Y, and Z, we don't get free lunch. So all of that is an expense for us. So if there's a daycare, if there's anything, how are the people in the middle going to be helped? I mean, what are we going to do? Yeah. No matter what you go through as a family, you have to stay together and keep the unit together, because when I'm outside and sometimes I don't feel like crap because of what's going on or my situation, now my wife's business is taking care of us, that hurts me as a man. That makes me feel like I'm less than at times. But when I get home, these kids could care less what happened. They see dad and they love me. And you got to keep that unit together. Okay?
I've been walking in the same way as I did, missing out the cracks in the pavement and tutting my heel and strutting my feet. Is there anything I can do for you, dear? Is there anyone I could call? No, and thank you, please, madame. I ain't lost, just wondering. Round my hometown, memories of phrase. Round my hometown, ooh, the people I've made are the wonders of my world. Are the wonders of my world. Are the wonders of this world. Are the wonders of now. I like it in the city when the air is so thick and opaque. I love it to see everybody in short skirts, shorts and
3 months behind in their mortgage payments, the Harper family of Los Angeles is facing possible foreclosure. And since last summer, Carol Harper and her husband Johnny, now disabled, have been trying without success to get their mortgage modified so they can make their monthly payments.
I don't know what I'm going to do if these people decide to take my home. I have nothing else. I can't see myself after 35 years out there in the street. We worked hard for this. He worked until he couldn't work any longer. He don't know the half of what I've been through. And I don't mean to do this.
She says her calls to her bank, IndyMac, have resulted in nothing more than a 6-month-long runaround.
I've called. I've been on the phone so much, so it's just pathetic. It's hard. And I'm at the point where I don't know where else to go.
Nothing so blue as a heart in pain. Nothing so sad as a tear in vain.
Ladies, gents, ladies and gents, as you may notice that the voice of these videos have changed. Mostly you know that one of those reasons is because Brett has been taken into custody at the Puerto Rico prison. My name is Ron. I'm the chairman of the Legal Redress Commission and the Redress Right organization. This is my first video, with more videos to come until Brett is released. Now be patient with me, you guys, because this is my first time. But I'm gonna try my best to entertain and to give you guys as much information that you need about what's going on with Brett. But before I start that, let me tell you a little bit about who I am. I joined the Legal Redress Commission it's been about 2 months and 2 weeks now. To start this off, let's go right back to the beginning. I first heard about discharging debt through a gentleman that came into a barbershop. Actually, it was my best friend's barbershop. He came into the barbershop saying, hey, you don't have to pay bills, you don't have to, get a driver's license, it's legal to drive. On first thought, what came to my mind was, this guy's crazy. And at that moment, I realized that I was in the Matrix. Another debtor out there trying to fight against, the people who knew the truth. But there was one thing about this character that came into the barbershop. He said one thing that made me think. And that one thing was, he said to me, why are you able to claim bankruptcy? Where does that money go? Where does it come from? Why are you able to take a piece of paper and sign that paper and then all your debt is free and you don't have to worry about it anymore? No one never asks that question. And that caused me to think. Now, I'm a person, I've always thought out the box. But when he said this one thing, that really opened my ears. So when I got home, I went and looked it up. And then it all began there. What I will suggest for most people who may be listening to this video for the first time, go to Black's Law on YouTube. That's where I first started. After studying for some time, I realized that all along that all the suffering and pain that I've been through when being a slave to the government, I realized that I could help people with this. I've always been the type of guy that helped people. Even my field, which is construction, was actually helping people's houses be beautiful. Now I have the opportunity to help people internally, meaning starting from the beginning. Well, what happened is, from me studying and studying, and when I first started learning this information, you want to tell everybody and you want everybody to know. But you really finally see that everybody think you're crazy. So I hibernated and I studied and I studied and I discharged all of my debt. Now, as I said before, when I first started, I was trying to study everything and learn everything. I wanted to know everything. I wanted to be able to do everything. Just like Neo, I wanted to fly in the Matrix. But what happened is my head was hurting. I was studying too much and my brain was working too much. That muscle in my brain was just getting tired. And what I came to realize what I needed to do was just to concentrate on one thing and move to the next. So what I did is I concentrated strictly on discharging all my debt and raising up my credit report. Now, my credit report was very, very low. It was in the 4s, 3s. It was terrible. Now my credit report is up to 758. All debt has been discharged. Now, how I came to meet Brett is when I started looking at his videos. I learned so much information. He was a gentleman when he gave out the information. He gave out the information where we can understand. And I know the voices that he would create was kind of, to me at the time, it was kind of crazy, but I didn't care about that because what I wanted was the information that he provided. So when I heard that he was having a seminar in California, I wanted to go because I wanted to learn more and I wanted to be around people who thought like I did. After going to the seminar in California, I realized that most people that were there were looking for the same thing I was looking, a way to get out of this position that I was in. But what I also learned that I had did a lot more than most people had done. And it was surprising to me because when I was in the presence of all those people, I was honored to be in their presence. Well, after the seminar, a couple of weeks later, after giving my testimony about debts and showing proof of it, I received a call from Brett asking me would I be interested in joining the Legal Redress Commission. At first I was kind of, shocked. And then, I asked this one simple question: why did you pick me? He said, because it's not about everything you know, it's about that you took the opportunity to do something and you have that genuine heart to help people. So I accepted. After being in the group of very, very intelligent people, we have a group of people who have vast knowledge of discharging debt, selling mortgages, background in being a lawyer. I mean, everybody touches every field of debt, which I thought was really smart to get a group of people that was like that. After being in the commission, I was voted to be chairman of the board, which was, you're never really ready for a lot of responsibility. But I'm making it work. Okay, 3 weeks after sitting at this seat, I received a call from one of the board members is that Brett was arrested in Puerto Rico. As soon as I found out that he was arrested, I got on a plane first thing and flew down there. Now, my whole purpose of flying down there is because, for one, when we first found out the information, we could not get in touch with him. It took us at least 2.5 weeks to really find out where he was. From the help of everyone in the commission putting their heads together, we eventually found out where he was. And trust me, it was hard because you're dealing with people. I mean, the language is Spanish, and so when you're calling down there, most of the people that's down there speak Spanish, and we're dealing with the obstacle of the law, always trying to fight against you. So everything you try to do, you're gonna run with some stumbling blocks. But we eventually found him, and as soon as we found him, I went out there. My main reason of why is because, one, I realized that Brett has helped so many people, and that he was dealing with a lot of things, the mortgages, the lawsuit, and when he was arrested, all that stuff was just left open. His computers, all his personal things was just left. So that means that someone had to go out there. Someone had to go out there and watch his back, take care of it. So after flying down there, I found out more information. I found out that he was arrested. And from those of you who already know, and I'm going to put this to rest, Brett was arrested for something that happened in '98. Now, that's what they arrested him for. But we all know why he was kidnapped. He was kidnapped because of the things that he's been doing and the things that he's currently doing now. So after talking to one of his friends, which I want to put on record that he has 2 friends that in Puerto Rico, and one of those friends is Max. I want to thank him and his family for showing their hospitality to me, taking care of me while I was there. And also Felix. Felix is a friend of Brett's, who a very, very nice character, very nice wife. They really helped me a lot so far as cleaning the house, making sure that everything was nice and neat and taken care of. Not only that, Felix, he took me anywhere I wanted to go. Now, the thing is that once being down there, and you got to understand, this was a very uncomfortable situation because I really don't know too many people, and everyone is speaking Spanish. not only to speak in Spanish. The point is that I didn't know where to go. I was lost. All the signs were in Spanish. So I did really need a lot of help and somebody who knew English and Spanish. So when I got to San Juan is mostly where everything is. It's where the courts are. It's where the prison is, where Brett was located. But to get to the bottom is, my whole thing was to go to court and to be a support and to find out what was going to happen, if he's going to be released, or they was going to keep him, whatever. But the interesting thing I want everyone to know is that they didn't want me to be there. They didn't want me to be there because there was a witness. And as I said in my letter to most of you, is that I was worried, but after seeing Brett represent himself, I didn't have to worry anymore. So what eventually happened when I came in to check in the court, and you understand this is a federal building. Now they let everybody have their phones and even their recorders. I've seen people with phones and recorders, but they took my recorder and they took my phone. And just to let you know the atmosphere was, hey, this guy here, he's crazy, something's wrong with him. You can tell that was the atmosphere. And let me tell you something, it was full. It had about 10 male agents and about five female agents, and that's not including the county, the court reporter. That's not including the bailiff. That's not including any of those people. And they were strictly there to find out who this character was that's changing the system around. So after they actually came up to me and asked me questions, are you Brett's family, or are you related to him? I said, I am related to him. Well, this one particular attorney, and this attorney was the public defender for Brett that they were trying to appoint to him. She came up to me and she says, hi, how you doing? Are you Brett's family? And I'm like, yeah, I'm family. Oh yeah, he said that he wants to represent himself. And I said, oh, okay, that's good. Well, no, that's not good, because he's facing a lot of serious charges, and you should really advise him to get an attorney. And I'm like, well, you know what? He said he wants to represent himself, so. And I said, well, why would you ask me a question like that? He goes, well, I said, man, could you please get out of my face? That's very, very rude for you to ask me something like that about my friend. He says, well, I thought he was your relative. I said, well, here's the thing about it. Friend, relative, why would you ask me a question like that? So after he left, one more person came and talked to me. And this particular gentleman was the probation officer. They always appoint you a probation officer when you're in your preliminary hearings. And he came to me. It's like a good cop, bad cop. Hey, how you doing? Your relative's facing some really serious things, and he wants to represent himself. And check this out. Everybody was trying to get me to contract with them to have him contract to get a lawyer or to put him in their jurisdiction. It was really funny. It was amazing to see how they were really trying to get this to happen. Not only that, they were passing around his documents before he came in the court. And, looking at the documents, his executor documents, and, they were just really just laughing at the documents and thought it was real funny. So the whole atmosphere was that, hey, you got this crazy guy talking about, he don't want no lawyer. So what eventually happened was, they brought him into court. And when he seen me, he was very surprised. He tried not to show it, but I can see that he was very surprised to see me there. You understand? He lives in Puerto Rico. I live in California, and he thought he was doing this on his own. But to see me sitting in the courtroom really surprised him. But what I really want to talk about, I just want to talk about now about what happened in court. Let me tell you, no one worry about Brett. If anyone have seen him or heard him represent himself in court, this gentleman did a superb job. The judge kept trying to contract with him and gave him a very, very, very hard time to represent himself, but he stayed calm. And here, check this out. I eventually found out that when I was there that he was in confinement. They had not given him any medication. He got arrested on the 26th of December. And this was the court hearing was on January the 15th. So he had no medical attention or anything, and he was in a lot of pain. But he still was calm and represented himself. I mean, he did an awesome job. And let me tell you something. I don't really talk about men like that. Not an insecurity thing. It's just the point of the matter is that I just don't do that. But let me tell you something. This brother represented himself well. So I would never ever have to worry about him representing himself in court or being in court. Now, I was worried because I didn't know. As we don't know everything. We don't know all the laws. We don't know everything about, the court systems. We know what we just study up for. But he ran circles around him. But let me tell you something, and this is the reason why, if you noticed in this little room that I've made up, this little room, you see that I have a poster, and this particular poster is a gentleman, it's Caden Spacey, and he made a movie in 2003. This movie that he made was based on a similar situation as Brett. But before I get back to that, but I just want you all to see that I have, to your right, I have the poster up on the wall in the frame, just to put it out there. But let me film with the court and I'll tell you the reason. What's the reason for that? Brett already knew that he was going to be doing this, and he set him up. He set him up so smooth. He got them to put everything on the record. And this gentleman, he didn't have a pencil. Someone had to give him a pencil to write all his documents. He didn't have no legal library to go to. Everything that he wrote was in his head, and he wrote this on pieces of paper. And I thought it was toilet paper that he wrote it on. He even wrote him a check. Listen to me, you guys. Listen to me. Brett wrote a check. He wrote a check out of a piece of paper. And check this out. They accepted it on the record. He got them to accept it on the record. But the most awesome part about this is that I saw how he set them up. He got them in a position where they brought all the evidence what they felt they had, and then he came back to show them that this whole thing was a fraud and that he was kidnapped. See, let me tell you something about what happened in '98. If everyone knows that Brett was arrested for a sexual offense. Now, this sexual offense was with a consenting person. The person was, it was a consenting, wasn't rape or molestation, okay? And not only that, it was a mistake. It happened in '98, over 10 years ago, and a mistake. People make mistakes. But the whole kicker about this whole situation is that when Brett when he was convicted in Arizona, he had some stipulations, and the stipulation in his conviction, which was a plea, was that he served 1 year, and that if he served 1 year, part of the bargain and the contract, okay, was that he only registered for 10 years. Now, check this out. He knew this. But see, he knew that the law, all they wanted to do was just push their authority. They don't let you talk. They just want to find something. He knew that they was going to come after him because all the stuff that he'd been doing for people, they were trying to find one thing to arrest him. Now, the funny thing about it is that we all know why he was arrested, but they didn't arrest him for those things, writing these checks and these money orders and helping people and discharging all these debts, filing lawsuits against these people. I mean, they couldn't find nothing because everything was within the law. And this is what I want everyone to understand. You must understand that he was not arrested for anything that he's doing to help people. He was arrested for something they just trumped up. Not only that, he got them to get it all on the record so he can sue him, so he can just state his case. Not only that, when he gets out, he'll be a rich man because what they've done to him, there's no way they can back at it. It's all on the record. And guess what? I got an audio of it, and I will be putting on maybe this video. I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to have time because I'm doing this video and I'm doing it in pieces because this is my first time. But you will hear the court hearing. We will be hearing from Brett. I will be playing a recording from him being in jail and talking to you guys and letting you guys know not to worry about him. But to get back to the court, he kicked their butts. And if I'm going to put it to you, he kicked their ass. And let me tell you something. I will never have a doubt about that brother anymore because he showed me that he just had the information and he applied it. And what I seen, the most important thing is that he didn't allow himself to get emotional. You notice that when you look at a lot of these videos and you see people representing themselves in court, they get loud and very emotional. And you know, let me tell you something about doing that. When you do that, you throw off your focus. Not only that, you don't be able to get your point across. And that's what I saw. He was very focused and he did what he was supposed to do, and he was very direct. He didn't let them shake him up, and trust me, they tried to shake him up. They tried very, very hard to shake him up. But so after the court hearing, which was 3 hours long, it was 3 hours long. I've never been to a preliminary. I've been to preliminary hearings, and they have never been 3 hours long, and they were 3 hours long. I'm going to not talk too much more about that is because, for one, you guys will be able to hear the audio. What I want to address now is what I want to talk about is that most people out there that has dealt with Brett and the commission, you're worried about your mortgages. From my understanding, from all the paperwork, because I have everything. I have everyone's stuff, so you do not have to worry about your stuff being out there and your information being out there in the open. I have everything. I've talked to Brett numerous times, and he assured me that the lawsuit is still going on. All the mortgages will still be handled. Now, I must say to everyone, please be patient. I'm doing this. I have all this information. All the documents with me here in California. We have people from the commission, but they're in all different states. So most of the information that I have of everybody is with me, and everything's being forwarded to me, so I can protect it and make sure that your stuff, doesn't get in the wrong hands. As I said before, the mortgages are still going the same. From my understanding of looking at some of the documents, some of your mortgages have been discharged and the banks have not responded. I'm going to be getting with Brett so we can be very clear. I've made a list and I've sent out emails expressing to everyone about what has happened. I know a lot of you have a lot of questions, and I will do my best to answer them. Hopefully I have answered some of the questions in this video. Now, if you know that the video is a little bit different and kind of unique, And this is how it's going to be until Brett gets out. What I'm going to do is, a lot of my videos is going to be based on issues about debt, mortgages, people being displaced out of homes. I'm really big on that. Before I joined the commission, I was helping a number of people discharge their debt. I have a process. My process works. And it's very simple. It's not something that's hard. I do request that you study. The only way it works is you study. The only way things work is you put your energy into it. And once you do that, you make things happen. Now, we're going to be having like intermissions. Part of these intermissions is going to be time for me to set things up so far, either phone calls that I have from Brett, or just give you information. Now, about the poster, as I was saying, about when you look to your right, you see that there's a poster, somewhat poster in a picture frame of a movie, The Life of David Gale. Now let me let you know a little bit of why I have that up. Brett has been planning this for a very long time. In a lot of his videos, you see that he says that there's going to come a time they're going to come after him, even about him being a guinea pig, which he has stated many times that he don't mind being that. The reason why, and Brett has no idea about this, is just from the time of him getting arrested and looking at everyone's email documents and just listening to some of the stuff in his videos, that he actually had already planned this. This movie is, in a way, something similar. What's so eerie about this movie is almost the same situation, and it's about being deceived, which the government has deceived us in many ways. But this particular gentleman was charged with a sex offense. He was deceived. He was charged with a sex offense, and it affected his whole life. Actually, literally destroyed his life and almost destroyed him until he took control and made things right. This story is a must-see, because when you see this story, you will understand why Brett was arrested, why he does not have a problem with being where he's at. And not only not being where he's at, this is something that he planned and he wants to do. From our understanding from the movie, when you look at this movie, you will see that this movie simulates some of the things that is going on with Brett. So it's a must-see. I'm going to try to prepare the website, the redress.org website, so whenever you click on that website, you'll be able to see the movie. I'm working on that. I will let you know somewhere in this video if I have a guarantee that you'll be able to do that. If not, you can go rent it. You can go on the internet and pull it up, and you actually can get the movie. Also, I'm going to be showing you clips of issues that we have in this society that we call America, about foreclosures, just to let you guys see that where my mind is and where I'm dedicated to help people. Now let's talk about the commission. Now you have to understand that Brett was being very smart when he does this. He did not want to feel like he was the head. Why? Because what do? The government cuts off the head and then everyone else runs. It always happened. You look in the Bible, it happened with Jesus, and but eventually all came together and made it work. He formed this commission Because why? He knew that he was going to be arrested and that these was going to happen, and he needed someone to carry on. And let me let you know something. Brett did not, he needed to go there. And when I say that, he was under tremendous stress. Not only being under tremendous stress, he needed to rest. I mean, all the things that he'd be doing. And he needed someone to step up. And if he had a commission that was with him, he needed to find out if they were with him. And from my understanding, everyone on the team is bagging him up, and we're doing everything to keep it going. Like right now, I'm putting this video out. I have to try to be creative so to keep you guys interested, because it's nothing worse than listening to somebody and they're not keeping you interested. The commission is gonna the main goal of commission now, why Brett is to work on the mortgages and continue to help with the lawsuit and go through with the lawsuit. Now, in my letter, I talked to you about sending things or sending funds or donations. Before we get into that, here's the thing. All of us are pulling together. This is not an issue about just trying to get money, but it's also a way to keep the commission going and to help us to help someone that has helped so many. Also, what I am going to be talking about, I'm going to be talking about debt, discharging of debt. Mainly what I'm going to do is it's a young lady named Angie. She when I went to the conference, she called me and told me she needed help with her debt, and I ran her through the process, and she has discharged a number of things off her credit report, and she was very, very happy. I'm going to read her letter and let you guys know, because see, here's the thing about a lot of videos. Most videos, you hear about a process and you hear about how to do something, and I need help, or my house is being foreclosed, or please give me the information. Rarely do you see success. Well, my main goal is to educate people on how to discharge debt. Not only just discharging debt, but also giving people the stories of people being redeemed and discharging the debt and the process working. You don't hear a lot of that. You hear a lot of people saying you can do this, but I'm going to start putting testimonies on the internet, and if you on the Redress organization's website, or you have written to us, and if I have your email address, I will be getting you those updates. These emails will not be going to just anybody. It will be people that is subscribing to the website. This young lady, she gave me permission. Let me warn you, okay? I've tried this letter. When I read this letter, it's hard for me to get to tears. But when I read this letter, man, every single time I get emotional, because I'm overwhelmed that somebody was helped. And so be patient with me. I ain't no punk. No, just joking around. I know that I'm not that. But what I'm saying to you is that it's a very, very great testimony. And all testimonies I will be posting on the videos.
How do we start?
You telling me what I'm doing here?
Well, I have a hard story for you to tell, Miss Bloom. No one who looks through that glass sees a person. They see a crime. I'm not David Gale. I'm a murderer 4 days shy of his execution.
The murder's way too clumsy. This guy is a major intellectual, top of his Harvard class, 2 books published. It doesn't make sense.
3 different courts found him guilty, Zach.
There is a record of exactly what happened that afternoon.
This is where the tripod was. They never found a video or anything.
They wanted me to die, knowing that the key to my freedom is out there somewhere.
Someone's framing you?
Oh, it's more than that. You know I'm innocent.
No, I don't.
Miss Bloom, I used to be this state's leading death penalty abolitionist, and now I'm on death row. Doesn't that strike you as a little odd?
From Universal Pictures.
We're gonna call somebody.
That tape could have been made by anybody with $20 and a tolerance for vulgarity.
Will it get us a postponement?
Comes a story about how far people will go in the name of a cause.
In the end, the damage is done.
Now, one reporter
What if the murder was not only to get rid of Dale, but to make him look crazy?
has 3 days to unravel the mystery.
It was Dusty. He had a motive. He knew you both. He visited that morning.
2 days to discover the truth.
Why make it look like a murder? Why frame an innocent man?
And 1 day
Call everyone. The governor, the warden, New York, the damn Supreme Court death clerk.
to change his fate.
I'm running out of time.
The life of David Gale.
Hi, this is Angel. I'm a Redress viewer, and I've been for a while. Just wanted to say hi to the Redress Commission and let you guys know that I'm excited to tell you guys that the information that Brett has given us all has been truth. As stated by Ron's testimony at the conference, he applied the information and is now debt-free. And I myself am now on my way. I just received my Equifax credit report and all negative items have been deleted. My first try. Ron stepped in and gave me one-on-one help and never got frustrated with me. He always made sure I understood what I was doing. He made me study, then tested me on what I knew so that I could be able to explain for myself what my entitlements were and why I was entitled to them, which is very important. It was not easy because the enemy fought me every step of the way, and Ron saw that. And God used him to step in the fire with me. That did something for me because it has always been a battle. Every time I've tried on my own, something always happened. Like roadblocks just came out of nowhere, and I didn't understand. For example, one time Ron stayed on the phone with me for like 3 hours. Not once did he complain. Patient. So he stayed on the phone for 3 hours, and to get through a recording agency, which usually took him about 5 minutes, it took us longer. But he kept trying, and he never gave up. He knew it was a battle, and after getting off the phone with me, he called the agency back for himself just to see, and he got through with no problem. Ron had told me to be consistent, don't give up, and don't get frustrated. I'm going to help you, but you gotta listen because the enemy does not want you to be debt free. And that was like the truest thing that, he could ever tell me. I was very grateful that after that talk, and Ron doesn't know this, I felt like something broke. I can't really explain it. It's just like a feeling in my body, and I just tried to, to hold myself, to keep myself from getting emotional. So I went and I told my husband, I was like, look at God, how he would send somebody to get in the fire, who didn't know me. And, I just let it go. I cried and I cried because I started thinking back over my life and how setbacks and delays happen out of nowhere. Therefore, I kept pushing. And even though I kept pushing, you know, it doesn't make the experience any better when these things happen. And I've never been one to give up. I am a survivor of an abusive relationship, my innocence being touched and being raped, but I'm still standing, and I'm not ashamed of this. I tell this because it is my testimony of not giving up in spite of, and God being glorified out of my life. I believe that you overcome by your testimonies and others overcome by your testimonies. And those experiences help me to have compassion for others as well as show them that you can get through this, because I am a living testimony to that. And if I can get through those things, I can get through some punk predators and their illusion. I say all this to say, just have faith, be consistent, diligent, and please don't get frustrated. Keep pushing no matter what, and know that you know it's going to work, and that you're already debt free. You keep that mindset, then you're already free. Because in the supernatural, you're free, and it will begin to manifest in the natural. That's what activates it. You know, you have to really believe and know that you know this thing. You know, right now, I'm currently waiting for other creditors and agencies, and I will send the results as they come in. And I got my Experian report in, and everything was mostly deleted, except for one. So at that point, then you would send that one debt collector another letter reminding them of who you are. And all I can say is just remember that it works if you work it, and be blessed. Okay, bye.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm actually doing okay. I really am doing okay. I'm actually in one of those pods that isn't a regular pod. This is nowhere near jail. I can really guarantee this is not jail.
Okay,
and
so...
if anybody thinks that this is jail, they're crazy. I gave Ron some instructions about getting the paperwork necessary for me to put an end to this. That's going to hurt me to do it. Okay?
Yeah?
Now, so I know I might be interrupting something, but your number just went through a couple of minutes ago.
Oh, wonderful. We're out on our walk, so it's so great to hear from you. We're praying about you.
Everything is okay. And I was hoping I wasn't going to catch you on your walk, because I needed you to write down some information for me.
Oh, I've got to... Let me see if
your phone does the recording, right?
Yeah, it does, yeah.
Okay, then that's fine. The first thing, Ron was going to take down some information because he has instructions on what to do with it. I'm just going to give you the information. Now, the phone went dead when I talked to him. That's because they're monitoring the phone call. They shouldn't be monitoring any illegal phone calls.
Yeah.
And they know that all my phone calls are legal. So I don't mind them monitoring. I don't mind them interfering with the call, because I'll take care of that when the time comes. How many letters have you gotten from me?
Only the initial one.
Okay, the one in pencil?
Yes.
Okay. That gentleman who helped me do that, I assured him that I would definitely place my interest in his correction. And Ron has the funds for doing that. If you would have him initiate 50 for that one.
Okay.
All right, I have two more to give to you, so I'll just speak it out.
Okay.
Jonathan, last is Jonah, and then Seth, instead of Jonathan, Jonathan.
Okay.
And Fonte, I-N-F-A-N-T-E.
Okay.
Santiago. Okay. And the information is 395-71069. The numbers I give you will all end in 069.
Okay.
I give you 069 is more than likely the designation for the zip code N1.
Okay.
That's the zip code. That's what it ends in.
Right.
The other one is, well, hold on one second. Jonathan, could you get Ricky for me? Ricky? Just tell him to come here. He's right here. Sorry, it's lost in translation.
Yeah?
Okay. He spelled his name out, but I wasn't able to read everything out. It's Raymond without the D. So Raymond. H is the middle. And that's the last name is Long. So when he does it, tell him just like mine, it has to be the first 16 letters. It won't take you to 10 if after more than 16. I'm going to try to call him later, but I can't give this information to him.
Okay.
Because apparently they don't appreciate it. So give me 1 second. Spell. Correct? Be correct? Correct? D-E. Okay, consider that Sevedo is Acevedo. Okay, I got it. All right. A-C-E, B is in Victor, E-D as in David, E as in Edward. And then the last one I have to spell, Car, C-A-R-R, A as in Sam, Q as in Quincy, U as in Uncle, I as in Ivan, L as in Larry, O as in Oliver. The last two were, last three is I as in Ivan, L as in Larry, O as in Oliver. And the first set, without the last three, 40925.
Okay.
And as I said, the all ends in 069.
Okay.
On the first one, 70. On the second one, 45.
Okay.
You have the ability to do that. And I do appreciate all of your concern, but as you know, in our conversation before, those I found out it was 6 different agencies. 6 different agencies came to my house.
Yeah.
That's what I was there to meet, was 6 different agencies. I will go through with that. I felt kind of special. They did not manhandle me. They did not mistreat me in any kind. Because I kept my composure with them all the way through.
Yeah.
And I'm going to keep it. The way you hear me is the way I've been from day one.
Yeah.
No matter what they have done, I've not gotten upset because I could not prove that they were taking 8 packages to the warehouse without their help.
Yeah.
I could not prove that you don't have to give fingerprints or sign any papers or take a photo. I could prove that without their help.
Yeah.
They helped me to prove all that. Now, although eventually I gave it to them, I just needed them to indicate to me whether or not such information was necessary. They told me it's just policy.
Yep.
And I told them I don't have nothing to do with their policy. They want me to be property. They want me to be an inmate. I told them there's no way in the world I'll ever be one of their inmates. So Ron knows what I'm getting ready to do. I asked him to have as many people, because I want the videos to go out, even not this call, but the next call you and I have.
Yeah.
Let's prepare to record that and put that up so that I can explain to everybody that everything is okay and that everything is going according to exactly the way I planned it. And I have time here to think, and the arguments I'm coming up with are pristine. I am surprised that I even came up with what I came up with this morning. You see, there are several things that I figured out. You had a grand jury indictment, didn't you?
Yeah.
Okay, you weren't allowed to get the grand jury indictment, but the law says that you are allowed to cross-examine any witnesses throughout all criminal proceedings.
Yep.
The grand jury indictment is a criminal proceeding, and you or anyone else is allowed to give evidence to the grand jury that contradicts the evidence to the prosecutor. That's against the law. The law says that you have that right, and you have the right to cross-examine. It's not just during trial. It doesn't have nothing to do with trial. This is all criminal proceedings.
Right.
I'm going to go at them from several angles, get their attention from several angles. I think Ron must have told you all that he saw me setting up the judge with my questions and the way I went about things.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, he didn't quite pick up on it because I noticed in our conversation, so I explained it to him. I was also setting up the witness. I got him to contradict himself, and he doesn't even realize it. And so when we have time for the trial, I am going all the way to trial. I'm taking this all the way through. I have no other choice, and I can't fully prove any of this. I'm going to set at least 5 precedents in this case. I'm positive of that, even if the judge rules against me on each one, until they cannot rule against me. So that's where I'm headed. Now, the reason why I'm talking so fast is because I only have 15 minutes.
Right.
These calls are not charged you, okay? I come off the money I put on the account, so I will always, when I call, there'll always be funds on the account to communicate with you all.
Well, what about if we set it up like we did here, where I prepay, and you can...
Yeah, you can do the prepaid, but see, here's the thing. It's going to still work out the same way. It's still going to be 23 cents a minute, so it's still going to be the exact same thing.
You sure?
Yes.
It wasn't with our system. It was cheaper.
Well, I'm in Puerto Rico, so it's a long distance.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we can try that. There is a prepaid, and I do have the number, so I'll call you back tomorrow. What time are you think you're going to be at home? So I can I'll give you a call tomorrow. I'm sorry, before I go on, tell Mr. Carl I said hello.
Okay, I ran on ahead so I could plug it in and not lose your call, so I'm at home now. I will tell him. He has been even crying for you.
Tell him to stop that. Tell him I am doing okay. Tell him I promise I am not sad. I'm actually enjoying myself. I even told the guys here. I begged them, literally, by signing those papers. I told them I wouldn't sign them unless they put me back in this pod. Okay? They have made it permanent that this is where I'll be.
Yeah.
For the next month, I'll be here. This is what I wanted. If they change, then they're going to have problems with me because that's when the lawsuit will be filed.
Uh-huh.
They start acting with me, I'll start acting with them. I already got them for stealing property from me.
Uh-oh.
The police went back into my house after they put me in the car. They went back into my house, and they went through all of my stuff.
That's what we thought, because it was a mess.
Yes, and my place was not a mess when I left it. So the fact that all the stuff was all over everywhere, if somebody was going to the house trying to steal something, they wouldn't throw papers all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a lot of paper there. Somebody stole one of the cell phones, and that cell phone was a broken phone. Okay? I stopped using that phone. Well, the phone still worked. The screen was cracked. I was getting ready to send it back to HTC.
Now, he got that one.
Well, he told me that he has the other phone. So if he has the HTC phone, that means the phone that was in the window is the one he doesn't have.
He got 2 phones, one in the window and a cracked screen one.
Okay, he told me he only had one. He told me he didn't get the other one. Well, it was a rush conversation. We were talking about so much. But if he got those 2 cell phones, that's all I needed. He got all the hard drives and the computers and so forth.
Well,
that was
some of the drives were taken, but he got all the computers.
Yeah, he told me that the drives that was taken was those little flash drives.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's okay. The little flash drives, that information, nothing on there was important. That's the stuff I was getting ready to send out to the people from the event.
Okay.
So that's okay. But the people who broke in after that, only broke in after that because they knew stuff was still there. They knew it had already paid up the rent. So they knew nobody was going to be watching that place at night.
Uh-huh.
We still got to ask him what he did with the dog and the cat.
He gave them away.
Okay, good. Well, there was a nice cat, nice dog.
Yeah.
They knew I took care of them. They knew that the dog was well-mannered, so they'll be okay. The cat, she is a pretty interesting little character.
Uh-huh.
But I'm not worried about anything out there, because that's what drives people crazy when they're in here, is worrying about everything outside.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about anything. I will give you a call back tomorrow. What's the good time?
I should be here all day tomorrow. I don't plan on going anywhere.
Okay, tell him to load the funds on the account and then put the rest on my account tonight the same way he did it the other night.
Okay.
Okay, tell him that the biggest thing right now is music and stamps for envelopes because I'll be mailing out. The lawsuit, I'm positively certain that all I have to do is go and edit this thing. I have a typewriter. I'll be ordering a typewriter ribbon so I can type everything up here.
Wow.
I will send it out. I wish I had my computer because then I can do all the spell checks and all that stuff, but it has a correction ribbon that comes with it. So I will go through this, and I can assure you that with the argument I'm bringing and how I'm bringing it to the Supreme Court of the United States, that's where I'm filing the case. I kept telling everybody I know that the Supreme Court hears cases but most people don't bring a case before the Supreme Court because they are cautioned against it by attorneys.
Right.
Because they don't want to. Right?
This call is from a federal prison.
Do you know that you cannot find the definition for man in the legal book, the law book?
Huh.
Just when you get a chance, just try talking in law and into the law book. The one on the computer here has no definition for man. It has no definition for human.
That means
it has a definition for person.
It's not a legal term.
Oh, it's not a legal term. They're not the ones who invented it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, they're not the ones who invented the term, so they cannot give it its definition. They don't have the authority to give it its definition because they're not the creators. And I didn't realize that until the other day when I was going over the certain words. What I need is, I did not get the package. The laws that you didn't know about, I need that to be sent here legal, no, because it is legal communication, case law. The laws that you didn't know about is most important. I need at least 5 copies of those. And please add the information concerning full faith and credit. It's Title 28, Section 1400 or 1446. It's going to hang up in less than 2 minutes. So 1446 and 1448. Full faith and credit is under U.S. Code. And all crimes commercial. Those are the things that I need.
Okay.
All right. Now, I apologize for rushing, but I wanted to get all of the information on your phone so that you can have that. So when you go back over it, I don't miss anything. But the documents that you guys sent, they haven't gotten here yet. And I'm not in a rush for it, but if you have to send it again, I'll let you know in about a week or so.
Okay.
It's going to hang in a couple of seconds, so let me go ahead and say goodbye, and I will speak to you very soon.
Thank you so much.
And don't worry about me. You've answered your prayers. I really am doing okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay? All right. Tell Carl I said hello, and I'll speak to you guys tomorrow.
Okay. Thank you.
Goodbye.
Bye. He's not answering, or maybe I'll try in a couple of minutes.
No, that's okay. He doesn't necessarily have to be on this call.
Okay.
Have you been able to contact him about what we talked about earlier?
Yes. He was at the bank to make a deposit, so he could do it, I believe.
Okay. What I want to do is I want to just go ahead and start talking and letting the people know that, first of all, I'm doing okay. Not in any problem, not in any stress, not feeling bad. As a matter of fact, my health for the last couple of days I've actually been feeling a lot better.
Good.
So I want all of them to understand that the commission is definitely not dead. They haven't cut off the head. Before I was placed in here, a week before, I put someone in charge of the commission, and he seems to definitely be a man after my own heart. Everything that he has done is exactly what I would have done. So I've entrusted it in good hands, and the rest of the commissioners, it's all in good hands. The individuals whose mortgages I was working on, I understand the banks are continuing to do their stupidity. Please do not worry. They were going to do what they were going to do from day one. What I needed to do was build a administrative record to prove that the banks were violating the law. And because none of them responded to any of the communications, the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, the Fair Credit Reporting Act, the Grand Lux Bailey Act, the Housing Act of 2009 called the Helping Hands Act. They have violated so many federal laws that that's how we get them. The lawsuit will be brought in 2 different jurisdictions. One, under the names of the homeowners, and everybody else who wants to be a part of that suit. So, again, they haven't cut off the head because I have access to research and other information that in my computer doing a Google search, I would have to search all over the internet for these laws where they have them all in one spot. Well, all I have to do is just go right there and write the laws down. Plus, I still have a lot of help from the individuals who are members of the commission. Now, I want to let everybody know that from now on, the videos will still be being placed up there. I will still be giving updates about certain information. I want to make sure everybody knows. The information I was given about the 11th Amendment was wrong. The 11th Amendment does not apply to the the judges not having any power in every lawsuit. It's not a violation of Article number 3. However, because they are not judges, they're administrative clerks. We have if you look at the laws you didn't know about, you'll see all the case laws showing that they act as ministerial clerks only. They act in a ministerial position. There is no constitutional amendment permitting that. So they have not been given power to act as administrators over anyone's account. Once you take away the power of attorney, they have...
This call is from a federal prison.
Oh, that's right, everyone. This is a federal issue. I'll explain exactly how everything took place in just a moment. But once you let them know that you are not consenting to their jurisdiction, there are several things that have come out. The judge in the case and the recording of that hearing will be placed on the internet for all of you to hear. Won't be able to record the rest of the hearings, but the first hearing was the most important. You'll be able to see how each of the questions I asked and each of the responses I gave to the court clearly identified everything that needs to be said in the courtroom. Because most of your conversation with the judge should always be in writing. It should never, ever, ever be coming out of your mouth. But because there's been some blocking of access to the court, documents not getting to where they're supposed to be, letters not being returned, sent to people, or my not receiving any letters, that seems to be coming to a halt. They are now starting to realize that somebody's been keeping an accounting of all of this, and somebody's been letting them know. They're finally starting to understand who I am. Let me go ahead and let all of you know. The initial appearance, any type of appearance, you don't want to make any type of appearance in any courtroom. You look up the word appearance in the law dictionary, and it says that you are submitting to a jurisdiction. The initial appearance is an initial submittal. You don't want to be making an initial appearance. You want to look up this word, everyone. You want to make what's known as a special, administrative presentment before the court. So you want to come in as a special administrator. I know everybody's been saying, you should do this, you should say this, you should say that. Look up the word special administrator and notice what he does. It still entails the declaration of executorship. Now, I'll be putting out several different copies of motions that I've done for you all to take a look at the arguments. Nobody else has ever brought any arguments like this before, but they all coincide with the law, they all coincide with the Constitution, they all coincide with all of the things that we've been talking about. We have been able to prove that you don't need to get fingerprints, although they will put you in administrative segregation for not doing it, and a lot of people can't handle the isolation. So you sign your name with the first initial, last initial, UCC1-308. Just that simple. You reserve your rights from day one. You sign it under protest. So that's your protocol complying with their so-called policies, because that's all it is. It's not a law, it's a policy. So you're complying with their policy. Now, you also make sure that if you are going to submit to fingerprinting, that when you sign that card, you do it under reservation of rights. I don't want anybody being accosted or assaulted by them. You bring up the violations after that. See, you're not required to follow anyone's policy. That's their policies. That's their company policies for their company employees. You don't ever want to be an inmate of anybody's institution. Inmate means property, a ward of the state. On the way to the unit that I'm in now, the detention center here in Puerto Rico, for all of you, the address for this location will be posted on the internet. Those of you who want to communicate with me by mail, you are free to do so. I will respond to every single one of you. The only thing I ask is, stamps are 45 cents. So I definitely would request that you at least put 45 stupid cents on the books so that I can pay for the stamps. Because as you know, I do everything for free. So the money that's gone on the books has been for me to get my music, because that was important. I need to have the music so that I can focus and concentrate. And for me to get the other supplies that I need to mail out the letters for the people who are involved in the lawsuit. Okay, so the lawsuit is still going on. I'll be bringing it before the Supreme Court of the United States, the court of original jurisdiction. A lot of you may not get that right now, but please understand, this case will be handled by the Supreme Court, by one of the justices of the Supreme Court, before a jury. The law permits it, the law allows it. All you have to do is look up the Supreme Court original jurisdiction, and you'll be able to find out how that's done. We all know that there was a case that was heard before the Supreme Court in the 1800s. Well, that's how that was done, in compliance with the Constitution. The Supreme Court is the court of original jurisdiction, and you'll see under, I don't know what title it is, but you'll see in the United States Code that it also explains the exact same thing. So getting back, on the way to this facility, the wonderful people decided to, I don't know if it was for my benefit or they were just saying it as a routine, but they literally recorded on the walkie-talkie the United States Marshals that they had 8 packages on the way to the warehouse. Now, again, I don't know if it was for my benefit because it was said loud enough that all the other trips in that vehicle, no one has ever gotten on a walkie-talkie and said anything. So I have to take that with a grain of salt. Whether, it doesn't matter, because once you're a ward of the state, you're the property. And I've already made sure they understand I'm nobody's property. I have not argued, not raised my voice, not yelled. The way I'm talking now is the way I've been taught. I have not changed. I am still on the same mission I've been from day one. I might as well, I'll mention her name. I have nothing against Angela. But Angela Spark had mentioned in one of the videos that I'd done, she put a comment there. And she said, when it was about the United States, the state of California, the name of that stupid county recorder's office. I told everybody just go ahead and follow the rules. Because he's in the county recorder's office, she didn't have any problems following the document. She says, let him do it. Let him go and be the guinea pig. Now, she wasn't trying to criticize me. She already knew how difficult it was to file with the LA County Recorder. I wrote back, and I did a video explaining to everybody that I am not willing to be the guinea pig. I mean, I'm not unwilling to be the guinea pig. I will be the guinea pig. This is me being the guinea pig. This is me letting you know that I've been planning this, and if you listen to the videos, you'll hear me talking about the fact that I knew I was going to be incarcerated over a year ago. I've been planning this for over 10 years. The issue, when you listen to the audio of the court, you'll see that the issue of the name is coming up. When I did the name change for the corporation, it was 9 names long. So you heard the name Brett Jones, the affiliates, but what is going to be introduced to the court, the original motion, is the name change. I said 9 names long. It's 10 names long. 10 being the number for earthly completion, according to the scripture. And the name Brett Jones, the affiliates, it equates to the number of letters in the alphabet, the American English alphabet. I was playing around. I did that purposely so that I could later say, oh no, this was by design. This was a corporation name to begin with. It was never for a human being. Because again, as I say, you cannot have more than one name, cannot have more than one name at any time. Having 10 different names, I have 10 different aliases, 10 different corporations, 100 different corporations, 100 different aliases that I can create at any given time. The other issue is whether or not the active state that we've been talking about has any force in law. We have the Geneva Convention, the Convention at The Hague. Now I get to call in the Secretary of State for the state of Puerto Rico. I get to call in the Director of the FBI for the state of Puerto Rico, so many different people who are top executives, and I get to call in several judges, because the judge actually stated on record that the agent for Homeland Security did not have the ability of answering a question about the law, because he was not an expert. So I get to call experts on the law. The only expert we know of the law is the judge, or the Attorney General. So I'm going to call both of them. I'm going to depose both of them. They cannot stop the deposition. They cannot say that it's irrelevant, because if you listen to the audio, you'll see that all of these were points that were brought up in the preliminary hearing by the judge and by the prosecutor. So now I get to take that junk that they thought that they were so slick with and use it against them. This is what I do. All of you know that. I will continue to do what I do. Do I mind putting this up on the internet so everybody can hear it? No. I want everybody to know what's going on. I want them to hear the hearing. This is done for your benefit. Am I afraid? No. You hear the judge mention something about 10 years. I'm not afraid of 10 years at all. I'm not afraid that they will even actually give me 10 years. This is a trial thing. This is not no plea. There will be no plea. I've already made that quite clear to the judge. I've already told him there will be no waiving of time, ever. And you'll hear him suggest that I should have the hearing postponed until they can appoint a lawyer to help me understand this. They cannot. I'm not going to allow it. I was told by the agent who works for Homeland Security that the judge was not going to allow me to speak for myself.
This call is from a federal prison.
We only have 15 minutes to call, so we're going to be doing 2 calls so that you guys will get 30 minutes of me talking and let you know that I'm okay. Said the judge was not going to let me speak for myself. What I have done is I have made sure he completely understood that I was going to speak for myself and I was going to speak on behalf of the defendant, that I am not the defendant. So I've got my team to put out this video and put out another video asking those of you who want to help with this effort to send letters to the judge directly to him, affidavit attesting to who I am, Brett Isaac. Just that simple. Just let them know you know me by that name, you've known me, you know of my character, and just put in everything that you can that will go to character, who I am, that I am a living, not human being, but living man. Sentient, self-aware, the same thing the Declaration of Executorship says, because those are the issues. Now there was for all of you to understand that this has nothing to do with any registration or anything like that, we got 2 minutes, so Francis, I'll have to call you back. I'll call you back after 6 o'clock, but for those of you who want to understand what's really going on, they sent 6 different agencies, Homeland Security, the FBI, U.S. Marshals, 2 different police departments, and ICE of the Homeland Security section. So 2 different agencies from Homeland Security. 15 different officers to my home. And then they went back into my home because they had my keys as part of the property, went back into my home and searched the entire house without my permission. Can't prove it, and that's the reason why. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to continue this the next call. I'll call you back after dinner, if that's okay?
Yeah. Okay.
MJ?
Thanks. Yeah, I had it on mute.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure. Let that be. Am I waking you again?
No, I'm just waiting for you to call back.
Yes, I am. I apologize. I wasn't trying to do that at all. I appreciate what you did yesterday, but because I didn't expect it, when I went to log on to the phone, it transferred all of it to the phone account and not to the commissary. So now I got to wait for them to correct the computer system.
Okay.
But I do appreciate it. I'm calling to let you know that that $300 is still on the Walmart account.
Okay. Do you know how we access it?
The one with the KK. The email address should be the redressucc@gmail.com. And what you do is just send it to the New Mexico address, the 473D address.
Yeah.
That's been the problem because this was being done. We were using a credit card to pay for the shipping, because you'll have to use a credit card to pay for the shipping. Because we're using a credit card to pay for the shipping, the problem with that is the address. They don't do what's called fraud shipping, and a lot of companies are like that. They don't do fraud shipping. They don't ship to a different address.
Oh, okay.
So you have the 2 credit cards, prepaid cards, sent to the New Mexico address and go straight to. You know what? I don't know if he did a change of address, so you can do a change of address for me for the New Mexico address and have it sent straight to you. If you can check with Ron to see if he's done it. If he hasn't, you can have the New Mexico 473D address information sent directly to you, and then it'll come directly to you.
Okay.
Okay. Again, I do appreciate it very much, and hopefully these people will be able to take care of what they need to take care of.
Yeah.
That's right.
Call is from a federal prison.
Were you able to talk to him?
Ron?
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe that 1 or 2 things are happening. I believe that he ended up spending a lot more than he intended to coming to Puerto Rico, and that the expenses were a little bit much for him.
Yeah.
And if you can explain to him that I understand, because I know how much it costs me to move here.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I know even the shipping was horrendous. So tell him I understand. Tell him that I said don't worry about it. The monies that were being sent to the redress.right Gmail account, tell him there should be at least $1,000 there for him to use to go ahead and continue to take care of the expenses.
Okay.
Because that's what they were sending the money for, is to take care of the expenses of taking care of this lawsuit. So tell him he has more than my permission to do that. It should be just as simple as calling him back up and asking to speak with a supervisor and just telling him that you have, that he, because he has to pretend that he's me, has at least 9 different email accounts, and because the emails have been tampered with. Google doesn't allow me to use the same password for every account, and so I have to try to remember and just tell him that he has memory problems because of an operation.
Okay.
And they should let him get into that account with no problem.
Okay.
All of those emails will be labeled mass action. So that's how he will find the ones that are grayed out, just because they'll be addressed mass action.
Okay.
Okay?
Now,
I'm not going to keep you, but I do appreciate that very much. And if you speak to him today, tell him I'll try to call him later today after 6, which is 2 o'clock his time, to not interfere with his morning or his day. And, I also found out I can't be on the conference call this week.
okay.
You guys start at 10, which is 10 o'clock for me.
Yeah.
So because it's 10, we are locked away in our nice little cubicles. And so I won't be able to be on the phone. I was hoping that I would. I'm thinking, I don't know what I was thinking. But, no, I know what I was thinking because they changed the day.
Yeah.
I thought that the hour may have been changed as well. So that's what I was thinking. But it is okay. I talked with Garth. Now, I'm told that there was somebody who was supposed to be one more person who was working on the Skype group or something like that.
Well, you had brought in Scott by telephone, but we don't know how to reach him.
Scott. Scott?
I don't know. You always called him on your phone, so we don't know who he is.
Scott. That's a shame, because I don't know that name. I should know the name.
You always brought him in on your phone because he couldn't do Skype or he couldn't do long distance or something. And so we don't know who he is or how to contact him.
Wait. His name should be in the first set of emails sent out. You know what? Because I brought him in on the phone, everybody gave their email during the conference, the call.
But him. I kept trying to interrupt to get his info and I never got it.
What was his field of expertise? Did you go back and listen to the call?
No.
If you guys get a chance anytime in the future, go back and listen to the call. The name Scott doesn't ring a bell. Dang it! I'm drawing a complete blank. Well, you know how I am with names and information, so the name Scott doesn't click. And you sure the name was Scott?
That's what you said. I don't know who it was, other than you just kept saying, well, hold on so I can bring Scott into the call. Because you always three-wayed him in on the first 2 or 3 calls, and then I didn't know. I tried to get his phone number or contact, and then you were gone, and I couldn't get it anymore.
Okay, and you can't access no, because he paid the phone bill. You should be able to access the Walmart account. And you know what, I don't even know if it lists, no, I don't think they list the phone numbers.
Mm-mm.
And the so-called investigator never gave him my cell phone.
Nope.
And I'm trying to think of who this person is, because I don't remember that name. And the name was Scott. I don't know who that is. I know Doug, I had the three-way because he was on the East Coast, and he was using Magic Jack. And I know that there was someone else who was using Magic Jack. And I know Ron had to be tied in. But I'm trying to, I'll think about it all day, because we had people from all over the country, but we had Mr. Smith, which was Carl.
Yeah.
Now, you guys, Carl has been in touch with you, correct?
Yeah, he is with Hank and I.
Okay. Now, the next thing is, who did I hook Scott up with? This character.
Yeah.
I don't know what his field of expertise would have been. So I'm drawing a complete blank as to who he is.
Okay.
Well, because you have 4 members who are not there.
Yeah.
My suggestion is that there was a guy who has been to 2 of my seminars. He's been asking me, begging me, and Garth knows the individual, and I do say that I trust him. I trust his knowledge. I also trust his connections. He is an organizer. He is putting together groups, putting together petitions. He does that type of stuff, and he's actually pretty good. So I would suggest you guys consider discussing about him, because he's willing to be a part of this. Consider discussing about him on Thursday, whatever decision the group comes up with. I have no problem with.
Okay.
But he's an older gentleman, not too old, but older, probably early 60s, and if it wasn't going to be Carl Smith, it would have been him that I would have brought in.
Okay.
And you're right, Doug was one of the ones who was using Skype, so I do remember bringing Doug in, but all of a sudden he started calling from a different line.
Right.
And I don't know who this Scott person would be. I'm trying to think of what city he was calling from. But my problem is I was doing so many calls, talking to so many different people, so many different names, that I don't remember that name. And then I also don't remember what his field of expertise was. But here's the thing. Here's something to keep in mind. When you go to the Google usage account, go under contacts. Well, that's going to be on my mind all day, and I'll see if I can rectify that. Okay, but please let Ron know that I understand the situation more than he knows. And so tell him I'm not concerned about me, and if I can get the money transferred to the commissary account, I'll take care of the other 2 guys from my account.
Okay.
Okay, I'm not, the only thing I needed was typewriter ribbons and so forth, so because I made the redundant mistake of pushing the wrong button on his phone, it transferred everything to the telephone account, which is not what I needed, because I can contact you guys via email. Although it's taken some time for my emails to get to you because they're scrutinizing them.
Yeah.
So when I send emails from now on, I will also label the email legal communication.
Yeah.
Okay, and I would suggest that you guys put in the subject line legal communication when you contact me back, and I would mention this to the rest of them later this week. I won't be calling back again today. Okay, so tell Ron, if you talk to him today, tell him I will try to call him back after 6 p.m.
Okay.
And I'll try to call back probably Wednesday or Friday to get an update on the other things that are going on, and if I can come up with the name of that person, I will definitely call you guys back on Wednesday and let you know who that is.
Okay.
Right now, so many names in my head, and working on this paperwork and coming up with these different arguments. I like the arguments that I'm coming up with, and I like the angle that the arguments pose, because the only thing I'm doing is changing precedent. I am going to introduce a lot of stuff to these people, and hopefully they won't be able to alter anything from that point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Okay.
All right. I will speak with you on Wednesday.
Okay. All right.
Take care.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, how you doing, sir?
Oh, man. Trying to make this little money, man.
Oh, no, you can't make little money. You got to do
Well,
it. No, I'm kidding. Don't worry about it.
I got to find some good customers.
Well, see, here's the thing. You have the videos now, and I promise you, you guys have more than my permission to start getting people's attention and letting them know that you are going to start to assist them with credit issues. You might as well start with credit issues right now. The thing about the lawsuit, I don't need anybody else to apply for the lawsuit. I have enough to take care of that. Okay, I have enough to do it as a mass claim, and I have enough not to make it $85 quadrillion. I can do it simple, keep it simple. This whole idea is just to change the way the system operates. But the credit thing, I promise you, it works, and there is enough people out there who have credit issues, and you guys already have proof that the credit repair works. You have not only the 26 out of 27 that I did, okay, and then you have yours, and then you have people that you've done and helped. So you have enough proof that it works. So I would suggest that you just start letting people know. Okay. Coming up with a price plan as to how to assist them.
Well, what I was going to do is concentrate on the commission taking care of, because it can't be one person, got to be all of us, and all of us got to be aware of knowing that how to do it. And what I was going to do is just concentrate on the commission taking care of theirs. And one, they have a testimony. Two, they know they can do it. If they know they can do it, they can show someone else.
Now, I said this to Francis earlier. This conversation, I'm going to understand, this conversation is going to be attached. All three conversations are going to be attached together, and you're going to put them up on the internet so people can hear. But I have no problem with that. We were talking about that earlier, and I said that like I told you yesterday, that I think that is a perfect idea. That's exactly what I would have done.
Right.
Now, as far as the commission is concerned,
this call is from a federal prison.
You and Francis both have half of my vote. If the two of you don't agree on a particular matter, then my vote goes to the majority. If there is a tie, then my vote is abstained until that particular matter can be resolved. Does that make sense to both of you?
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right. Now, were you able to take care of something that...
It's going to eat that up, so...
What's the call it? The Green Dot American Express.
They wouldn't take it. They said it had to be a visa.
No. Okay. The Express wouldn't take it because it's American Express.
Yes. So, well, I have it on there for sure tomorrow morning. If I'm going to put the money on a Visa card, I'm just going to put it on my account. So, money.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I didn't know for sure. I didn't know if you ordered or I ordered it, but I'm sorry, somebody's here. Yeah. Okay, no problem. Commissary, let me know, okay? All right, sorry, somebody was giving me some envelopes. I'd ordered some envelopes, and I ordered the wrong envelopes. See, I'm used to the envelopes being, one is the letter size, so I'm used to the envelopes being 6 inches long. Not knowing that these pieces of junk are those real small envelopes that are like 4 inches long.
Okay.
Well, no, the ones I use are 9, these are 6. I'm used to the regular envelopes that I send everybody.
Yeah.
Because those are the regular ones. Walmart doesn't even sell these. So I'm used to the Walmart brand going there and just picking up a set of envelopes. So he was letting me know that he assisted me, and so that's why it was important this week to take care of that, because somebody helped me to be able to make calls. All
right. You said that you wanted this call to be on the
Exactly.
But this call, I'm not comfortable with, people knowing.
I didn't tell you to say that.
Well, yeah, but yeah.
Okay, look, there's a program on my computer. You can edit it out. It's called Acid Pro. Literally, it's a cut and paste. And but you don't have to put this call on there. I can always call back and we can do the third one. The last one was enough to finish, but it's just, all I'm doing is updating them on the information that I have just discovered.
Okay.
Keeping them updated on what's going on, because although you guys were worried and concerned, there are a lot of people out there who have the same type of emotions towards, wanting to make sure everything is okay and that I'm okay.
Right.
So I don't want them to think that, because if you guys tell them I'm okay, they will, that's just coming from them. They're probably just doing that to keep us from worrying. But if they hear me talking, if they hear me talking the way I normally talk, and I'm not doing the voices, but if they hear me talk the way I normally talk, then they'll understand that everything is okay. And they'll see the strategy. Because somebody had to do this. And I know why other people haven't done this, because nobody's willing to put themselves through something like this, because they're going to go bad.
Right.
But I am...
Well, that's not going to happen, though.
No, and I know that. That's the whole point. This has been almost 12 years in the making. When I keep telling people that I've been planning the commission for over 12 years, well, I've been planning this for over 12 years.
Okay.
Ever since I did the name change, I've been planning this. Let me explain, and I will tell you, I only realized this once I was here. My father knew about the whole name thing. If you take a look at the so-called birth certificate that they attribute to me, his father's name withheld. It doesn't have a last name for him at all. it has the mother's last name for the child's last name, but no first name or middle name. So I've never been a collective entity from day one, and I've known this all my life. That's why every name that they have are names that I created.
Right.
Okay? Every single name that they have, when they talk about, well, he's gone by this, he's gone, I haven't gone by any of those names. They required, in order for me to get a license, for me to give them a name. So I gave them one.
Right.
You know, every time I tried to do something, they said, well, you need this, you need that. Okay, so I gave it to them. Louisiana said, hey, well, we have to give you a first and last name. This doesn't have a first and last name. You need to go get it. I'm not giving a court nothing. I don't need to get a court order.
Right.
So they put NFN Branch. No first name Branch. That's how they did the license. NFN Branch. Which to me was stupid. So when I started realizing the thing about the name was when I was in Arizona, in prison. And I gave them a notice of change of name. In the court. And that's what I sent.
From a federal prison.
I sent the letter asking if you guys can get that. Okay, from New Mexico. I need a copy, and I sent the letter explaining how to get it from the Maricopa County.
Okay.
A copy of the order for the name change and a copy of the information regarding the rejection of probation, the motion for rejection of probation, and the motion from the court granting the rejection of probation.
Okay, let me ask you a question on that.
Yes.
There's New Mexico giving you...
New Mexico, Arizona. Sorry.
Arizona, right, okay, Arizona. So, if you can't get it online, you just go down there and go to the court building and get it?
No, don't go down there to the court building. Just sit up there and send the clerk. Just call the clerk. They'll tell you how to request it.
Okay.
It doesn't cost much. It's just the fee for paying for the certification. I want nothing but those items have to be certified.
Okay.
That's how we shut this all up. It's the full faith and credit clause, and I definitely would implore both of you to go over the full faith and credit clause of the United States Constitution and the actual code that refers to the full faith and credit. They have to recognize every court order of every court throughout the Union. Secretary of State, they have to recognize their seal. Notaries, they have to recognize their seal. Because they all carry the full faith and credit of the state that they represent. No state gets to ignore, like the national states. They can't ignore that document. As much as they want to, they cannot, because it has the apostille of the Secretary of State, which means it's carrying the full faith and credit of the Secretary of State. That's why it was so necessary that I got that done, and that's why I was so elated when they did it without hassle. Okay, now, again, this is not, you don't have to play this on air, but here's the thing. Each of you, as I did email, I sent an email out to you, Francis, to Garth, to Hank, and I forgot the other person. I didn't send it out to you, Ron, because it hasn't cleared.
Okay.
I'll have to put your information in again yesterday, and I had to do it before with Francis, so that hers finally cleared. So I'll put yours back in again tomorrow. I'll check it tonight to see if it's cleared.
Yeah, I was able to get on, but I don't. Francis, she put in a number, and that's how they cleared her. But I didn't have to put a number in. I just put the link, and boom, I was there.
Yeah, the only problem is your name got deleted from the system yesterday.
Oh.
It didn't show clear on my system. So what was the last name that I put on there? It doesn't have to be the official one. What was the last name that I had there?
Oh, mine?
Yes.
I didn't see no name. I just seen if you sent the email. I just seen
the chairman for the Democratic Party in 1997. His name was Ron Brown.
Okay, what about him?
Okay, I'm appreciative of you understanding that that's how it's coming up on my computer.
Okay. You put my last name is Ron Brown. Okay.
Because I didn't know it, so well that works.
Okay.
You know. Let me go ahead and make sure I say this clearly. On my computer, the Dell computer, and it's going to be in two places, but I say look in downloads first. It's going to be a folder with a word starting with a P. It's going to be a Spanish word. I don't know the Spanish word from here, but it's a Spanish learning information, videos, and so forth. I need a copy of Lesson 1 and Lesson
Okay.
Okay, but here's the problem. Write this down if you can, Ron.
I don't have a pen on me.
I got it. Okay.
You get it, Brad?
Yeah.
Okay. On the UCC internet website, internet email, there is an email from Learn Spanish or How to Speak Spanish or something. It's something Spanish, so do a search under Spanish. And they sent the link to the site for downloading the program. Instead of looking for that folder on the computer, just re-download lessons from there. They have word lessons. The words are simple: impossible, imposible, compatible, compatible, and so forth. They're words that are verbs that are almost identical to Spanish and English. It will help me to communicate some of this information to some of the people here and help me to pick up on this language while I'm here. See, I'm going to teach myself Spanish over the next 6 months.
I'm gonna have Kurt make you up some too because he's a Spanish teacher.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah, that'll work.
Tell him that I did. Tell Kurt this for me, please. Tell Kurt I think he's a little stupid. And I know he'll laugh, so. But it's going to hang up in about less than a minute and a half.
Okay.
I need that as fast as you can. Ron, the documents you sent, I haven't got them yet, and I know why.
Why?
Because so it says regular mail, not legal mail. They go through every single page.
Oh, that was a lot of pages they got to go through there.
Yeah, exactly.
Where about the money, though?
That's the whole point. That should have cleared. But they haven't given me the letter. Do you have the receipt for that package?
The receipt and the receipt for the money order.
Okay, thank you. The receipt for that is, I'm definitely going to probably need that eventually to show the court that they're interfering with access to mail.
Okay.
They're going to claim that they never received it, and I want them to say that. Now, let me call you guys right back. I still have some funds on here to make another call.
Okay.
So when I say right back, 30 minutes, sorry. It'll be 30 minutes from the time they hang up, and it's going to hang up on us in a couple of seconds, so I'll call you.
Oh, suki now. Hey! Come on, baby. Hey there, sugar dumplings. Let me tell you something, girl, I've been trying to say now. You look so sweet and you're so doggone fine. I just can't get you out of my mind. You become a sweet taste in my mouth now. And I want you to be my spouse so that we can live happily now, in a great big old roomy house. And I know you're gonna groove me, baby. Oh yeah, now make me feel good inside. Come on and groove me, baby. I need you to groove me. Oh yeah, now, darling. Come on.
Okay, you guys. I hope you guys like that. I just wanted to bring a little bit of joy in some people's hearts that may be kind of down. I thought it'd be something kind of different. Not only have you guys got a chance to see the members, the names of the members of the commission, I want to take this time also to say thank you to a young lady that calls herself Angel. Her name is Tamla. To be honest with you, I was supposed to read the letter, but you guys, I just couldn't do it. I mean, every time I read it, I get emotional, and I probably wouldn't have finished the letter. So her reading the letter was really, it was good because I just couldn't do it. But thank you very much. It took a lot of courage for you to do that and to put your business out there with thousands and thousands of people. I think a lot of people may relate to you and appreciate it. So thank you very much. And I'm really proud of her because you got to understand, when this young lady came to the conference in California, she didn't know anything about this stuff. She just heard something on the internet, and she just, bought her ticket and came. And she's doing great. She's about to buy her airplane in the Matrix, so she's doing real good. I don't even have to even answer too many questions. She's running on cruise control, and she's discharging her debt. So, thank you very much. What we're going to talk about now, I'm going to really just close it out, because actually, as I said before, this video is in parts. The recording of the court, I'm going to put it on the next video, because this one is about almost 2 hours long right now. So basically put a lot of information on there already. But I want to close out. And what I'm going to close out with, the websites that everyone is using. Everyone using Redress Right, UCC, redressright.org. Those websites, I'm going to eventually close those websites. Here's the reason. The reason is because I've been searching all the emails, going through all Brett's computers, and he have a lot of different emails with people emailing him on all those different emails. That's kind of confusing, because for one, everybody it's just too many different emails and nothing's organized. So what I've done, me and the commission, we're putting all new websites, and they're going to be specific on why you emailing, so we can best help you. The first website, and I will have this posted, and it's probably posted now, but a copy of everything that I'm saying now so far as the email websites. The first one would be the Redress Right Organization at yahoo.com. Now, this website is for everyone, because the Redress Right Organization is you guys. You, the people. You guys are the organization, because you are the people that's awoke. And that will be the website for any concerns, questions, or whatever. And you go to that website, and that is the website we will be answering specific questions. The next website is the Mass Action Lawsuit at yahoo.com. Now, that's obvious. Everyone that's on the Mass Action Lawsuit will subscribe to this website. Anyone that wants to be added on to the Mass Action Lawsuit will be emailing to this website. No other questions will be answered. It's only concerning the Mass Action Lawsuit. The next website is the Redress Mortgage at yahoo.com. That website will be only for the people that we're doing mortgage for. Currently, we have 17 people that we're doing now, but in time, it's gonna be more people that's going to subscribe to getting their mortgage discharge. Until we have finished the mortgages of the 17, that will be the website, and it's for everyone that wants their mortgage to be dealt with. Now, I wish you guys just be patient, because I'm trying to organize this so we can best help you. And the people that we have, which is the 17, would you please send your emails of your name to the website? I have them, but I just want to be sure, and I want to make sure that I have everything in order. And the next website will be the Brett Commission Funds at yahoo.com. Now, let me talk about this. Now, there's been a lot of people that say they want to send funds. I don't have no problem with that. Now, a lot of people want to send funds to Brett at the jail. Here's the thing about that. I've been sending funds to the jail, and there's been a big problem with it, because they've been scrutinizing the money that he's coming in, or even the letters that's coming in. So, I want all funds to go to one location. Why? Where it can be organized. So when Brett gets out, he can see who gave. And
if there's a record, it has to be a record. But if you got funds going to all different websites, that's not organized. So I want to make sure it's organized so you guys can be appreciated for the funds that you are giving, and people know who is giving the funds. That the Brett Commission funds website is also for people who want to send money to support the commission. Now you have to realize that I'm not a rich guy, and I'm doing my best, and I'm going to do my best no matter what happens. But the point of the matter, it would be nice to have someone to give donations to help. My plan is that I don't want, as I said before, I don't like charging people for this information. But it's going to get to the point where that there's going to be more people, and then yeah, it takes funds to support the people and to give the information out, either to get a venue to do the conference or whatever. But the point of the matter is that we got to do things in order. We have to do things in order so where it works for everyone. My plan is to eventually to build, and that's the sole reason why I am moving. I live in Windsor Hills. I'm fit to moving to actually Inglewood. It's a better location for me. I can receive internet much better. Where I'm staying right now, it's really like in the hills, and I can't get the internet connection that I want. And right now, interconnection is very important because I'm dealing with not just myself and my personal issues, but I'm also dealing with you guys' personal issues. So I have to be really available to you, and that's just the plan. As I said before, my plan is to start the commission, which is the first corporate office will be here in LA. We're going to have a corporate office of the legal redress commission, and it starts here in Inglewood. I will give the address to where you want to send your documents, everything that's need to be taken care of. There's going to be one address, and I will give that address. All paperwork will be sent there, all letters, and then we will forward the mail to Brett in one package. Why? Because they scrutinize his mail, and he has a problem getting it. And I've sent some money. I've sent a total of $200 in the mail, and I have not received it. It's been almost a month now, so I don't want that kind of problem. I want to know where everything's going so it can go straight directly to Brett. Also, Brett has asked you, the people, everyone out there that has subscribed to Brett, to like the judge. Right now, they're trying to scrutinize his name, Brett Jones, son of Isaac, or Brett, the son of Isaac. You got to understand, they're trying to bring him under their jurisdiction and trying to say that he's Brett Jones, and he's letting them know that I've never been Brett Jones, but I've used that name. But he's requesting that everyone send a letter to the judge. Send a letter to the judge, letting them know that, yes, I do know Brett Jones, the son of Isaac, and he's done this, and this is what he's about, or, you know, as I say, a character witness letter. Excuse me, you guys, if there's been some pauses in the recording. I'm not feeling that well. I've been real tired trying to get everything taken care of. But what I was talking about, sending affidavit letter to the judge. And this judge is trying to scrutinize what Brett's name is. So Brett would like all of you to send a letter to the judge saying that I know Brett Jones, son of Isaac, and I've known him for this long. I've known who he is. He's done this, he's done that. Actually, what you're doing is you're writing a character witness letter. We're flooding. We want to flood the judge's office with all these letters so he can know who he's dealing with. So we would really appreciate it if you guys wouldn't mind writing an affidavit, signed, notarized, to Brett Jones, the son of Isaac. letting them know that, you know, who he is. I'm going to also give you guys the phone number, his phone number. You can call him up, and you can also tell him too, or leave a message. Now I want to take this time out to thank everyone at the Legal Redress Commission that has helped me. I wouldn't have been able to do none of these things without their help. They've been very supportive, and I want to take this time to thank them for their support and supporting me and being their chairman. To be honest with you, I'm not the greatest speaker, but I'm doing my best, and I guess as time goes on, I will get better. I hope that I've answered all you guys' questions. If I have not, I'm pretty sure you guys will be emailing me and letting me know. As I said before, I will be putting the recordings of the court in the next video, and just be patient with me. I know that it took a while, but this was my first time, so I had to figure out how to do it. Now I know, and I'm in the process of moving, so continue to be patient, and I will try to answer all your emails and be at your assistance. Thank you very much. I'm out. This is the Legal Redress Commission.